Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is Best in Slot, and tonight we are going to take a look at the Good Old Days mod. This is a brand new Jurassic Park Operation Genesis mod, and a really kind of weird one. So I'll explain what it's about. Basically, instead of trying to recreate film dinosaurs or book dinosaurs or any of those other types of things we've seen before, what this is trying to do is change the dinosaurs in the game so that they represent what we thought dinosaurs looked like when paleontology was in its infancy, when we were first discovering these dinosaurs and we didn't know how to put them together and they had all these bizarre shapes that we now know to be inaccurate. That's what this mod is all about. So it means we get a whole bunch of really freaky ass looking dinosaurs, but it's also really interesting to see this is what scientists and paleontologists and the world kind of accepted that these creatures looked like back in the day. You know, this is what they thought dinosaurs truly looked like. So it's going to be really interesting to have a little look at them now. And you'll also notice it's done a couple other things. We have rocks now. I don't know why, but they've added little boulders. There's maybe too many boulders. There's bloody loads of the things. But when you put down really dense forest, you now get these jagged rocks in the ground as well. And you guys know I love a good rock or two. So the first thing we're going to do is, I really want to see one of these mutant dinosaurs eat one of my guests. But we're going to have a look at the herbivores first. So we're going to make a big old paddock right here in my little tester park. If I can finagle my way around that. Lovely stuff. And let's stick ourselves in a hatchery. And we're just going to put all the herbivores in here and have a little look. Put a little bit of a lake in. You'll also see if we go into the feeders. Actually, you won't see it now, but you'll see in a bit. But there's a new type of food in the feeders as well. You can now feed them dead goats or dead cows. Don't know why you'd want to, but you can. So let's have a look one by one. We're going to start off with our very first small herbivore, the Struthia mimus. And tell you what, it's going to go pretty slowly. So let's grab ourselves a second hatchery and go for a Citic as well. So the on the mod page it says these are all based on what we thought the dinosaur looked like at the start of the 19th century. I suspect it means 20th century, as in 1900. Like the 20th century is 1900 to 2000, right? I'm not going crazy. And I think this is meant to be 120 years ago, not 220 years ago, but I could be entirely wrong on that. So there we go. There's our first two, Struthia mimus, straight out of Jurassic World Evolution. I'm sure you'll agree. Doesn't look, I mean, some of them aren't going to look that far off what we ended up. Obviously, it's kind of bizarre. It's very upright and bipedal, much more than it would be, you know, the neck's very straight up and stuff like that. But it's the same with the Stegosaurus. It's strange, but it's not a million miles off. What you'll notice is that some of them, the ones that, Stegosaurus for example as well, Stegosaurus, and the ones that we got more complete skeletons for, of course, if you uncover a complete skeleton in the ground, it's kind of easy to see how that dinosaur would eventually look. It's when you get the incomplete skeletons that you kind of have to put it together yourself, and that's when things get a little bit weird. Let's see what else we got. Stegosaurus, so colourful. Quite beautiful. There we go. Look at it. Again, it's not. I mean, I could see downloading a Jurassic Park Operation Genesis mod and they would give me a Stegosaurus that looks like this. At the moment, these are all kind of chill. I have seen some of the others and they are kind of freaky. I'm not going to lie. This Ornithomimus is, again, it's okay. It's not bad. We've not got to the truly weird ones quite yet. Nodosaurus there. A lovely little armoured creature. That's it for the smalls. Let's go onto the onto the largest. And you may have just got a glimpse of it there, but we do have our first stranger looking creature, shall we say, with the large herbivores coming in. There's our little gang hanging around. Anyways, Nodosaurus coming in, our final small.
We wish to bring to your attention that the rare African stegosaur, Kentrosaurus, is now on display.
Again, not too bad. You know, I've seen worse. But the Stegosaurus has some problems. I mean, obviously it's meant to look like this, but you know what I mean. There we go. So the Stegosaurus has a thing. The Stegosaurus reminds me of. The Stegosaurus needs to get on a diet for a start. It kind of reminds me of the Goblin King dude from The Hobbit. You know, it's kind of got this warble below its mouth and neck. The Stegosaurus is kind of freaky ass looking. It's very skinny but fat at the same time, which is kind of impressive. So there we go. We've got our first weird dinosaur. Let's move on. We're going to get an Ankylosaurus. Not too bad. And a... Now we're getting into some weird stuff. This is what we want. We want the weird stuff, folks. That's what we're here for. While they're coming in, I'm going to show you what have I got over here. That's my Struthies, Paras. Okay, that's everything I'm going to see. Over here, we do have a carnivore, so I'll give you a quick look at this one. This is the Dilophosaurus. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. You can't really see it, can you? You can tell it doesn't look like a Dilophosaurus, but you can't see anything else. Wake up. There's my Anki. Anki is freaking ginormous, but again, doesn't look... I mean, weirdly enough, it looks kind of like what most people think an Ankylosaurus looks like. It's a bit taller and a bit bulkier, I think, a bit chubbier, sort of around the middle and stuff like that. I'm sure there's many other problems, but it's still not that far off. I mean, compared to what we now know Ankylosaurus looks like, if you want to check out, say, Saurian's interpretation of Ankylosaurus these days, it's very different, but that is only a development in the last few years. You know, this is near what we thought Ankylosaurus looked like for a long time. Let's check that Parasaur, because the Parasaur, however, Parasaur is a little bit on the freakier side. I mean, the basic shape is there, the kind of the foundation with the crest and such, but it's how it's put together. You know, they clearly didn't quite know how it all fit into a single dinosaur, and it creates it kind of looks like a dude in a costume, and it's kind of freaking me out. We're gonna move on from him fairly sharpish.
It's good to see you.
What else have we got? Triceratops, my beloved, my absolute beloved. Brachiosaurus, lovely stuff. And tell you what, let's start making. We're gonna do another little mini exhibit just for our medium carnivores over here, I think. I might just stick them all together, who really cares? How many guests do I have? I'm only a half-star park, unfortunately, so what we'll have to do is make a large down here, I think, and then release some... I just want to see a weird, freaky-ass looking big herbivore, big carnivore eat a guest. That's all I'm looking for. There's our trike. Again, not bad, right? Not a million miles off. Kind of cool looking. I actually really like the texture on that one. It's kind of cool. They've all got very simple textures in a way, because this is how dinosaurs would have been painted traditionally. You can see it's quite bright. It's kind of weird, right? They're all very green by and large, but they're actually quite bright greens. But in terms of variety of palette, they're very similar. The Ankylosaurus is huge. You only notice it when you zoom out, but it's massive. There's our Brachy. It's kind of got a Jurassic Park feel to it, right? Except the colours. Again, the colours, always with the greens. Trachodon. So I actually have not heard of that one, I've got to be honest. A couple of them, I think it's the Camarasaurus and the Corpsehatch don't quite work. I don't know what's going on with the texture there. I don't know if that's going to spawn like that. I guess there's only one way to find out, so we'll have to see what happens in a second. We can live in hope. Trachodon though, I'm guessing this is a Hadrosaur of some description based on what it looks like. It's kind of terrifying. It's based on the Edmontosaurus. I've never heard of Trachodon before. So I can't tell if that's what it looks like. I'm going to go with no, because it kind of looks like an alien. It's kind of weird, right? Seeing these dinosaurs stalking about. It doesn't look like a dinosaur. It looks like a dude in a costume. And over here we have, yeah, something's gone wrong there. I don't know what that's about, unfortunately. Okay, Pachycephalosaurus. This is one of the more obvious differences. You can see that with a lot of the bipedal ones, they kind of struggle to get the... we'll be able to talk about it specifically with the Pachycephalosaurus in a second. But the Ceratopsids seem to be roughly on point. The Stegosaurus and Triceratops look okay. In terms of, you know, general overall foundation of the shape sort of thing. But there we go. We've got this bizarre... The Trachodon does not fit at all. This is weird little hodgepodge of bizarre dinosaurs. So you can see with the Pachycephalosaurus, not only is it fairly huge, but it's much more upright than it would be in actuality. You know, the head and the body really should be a lot lower down, kind of like horizontal than it's presented here, where it's tall and upright and kind of looks like the Trachodon, but in Pachycephalosaurus. That's more what it should be like right there. It needs to stay down there, and then it stands up again, and it just kind of looks a little bit freaky. I think you see that quite a lot if you look at old images of dinosaur paleo art. A lot of these more low-down bipedal dinosaurs would be more upright in terms of how they look. So that's it for herbivores that actually function. Okay, well, let's take the... No. Okay, let's go over here. Ciao! Let's get a couple more hatcheries. Got myself another star. And I want to try out these Congo Fetus first of all, because we do have new stuff, so we can spawn dead goat, which is nice. And I'm assuming it just looks like a dead version of the regular animal, but yeah, it's just dead goat. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but there's a dead cow. Lovely. So let's move on to the carnivores. We've got a Deinonychus, and we have a Oviraptor. It's pretty cool, this. I mean, there's quite a few dinosaurs in here that you simply would not get in your regular JPOG. And again, I say this every time we play a JPOG mod, but I just love seeing these creatures and seeing these mods for this game that's like 18 bloody years old. Well, it's like 16 years old, 15 years old, something like that. The game's hella old, folks. Hella. And it's just nice seeing people make these bizarre... Like, who thought to make this mod? It's awesome that someone thought, you know what we need? A mod that is purposefully 100% inaccurate to modern times, based purely on bizarre old paleo art. That is all we want. I really like the Deinonychus, though. The hands are a bit bizarre, and the head's a bit weird, but I quite like that. There's our Oviraptor. And someone's gone through the work to model and individually texture all of these. I just think that's really cool.
Great to see you.
Well done, mod maker. Laylaps. That's a silly name. And there it is. Dilophosaurus is back. So you can see Dilophosaurus has the same problem that the Pachycephalosaurus has, in that in actuality it would have been much more, despite being bipedal, it would have been much more horizontal in formation. It's also gigantic. Now we know that Dilophosaurus was actually substantially bigger than the Jurassic Park version, but it doesn't mean it was Brachiosaurus sized. Hello. I don't know what you are either, but I kind of like you. But yeah, you're what I'm interested in, son. There we go. Look at that dino. That's amazing. That is much more terrifying than any Jurassic Park variant, I've got to say. Absolutely bloody terrifying. Also humongous. I understand that it's a medium because Dilophosaurus is always a medium, but that is no medium. Look at it, hunting down the Oviraptor.
It's good to see
Absolutely terrifying. That's it for smalls. Right, we're going to stick our larges in here as well. So we have an Allosaurus, which looks kind of cool. I just want to save the Rex for last. There is a Rex. And this bizarre looking Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus is a weird one because at the end of the day, right, you could do this in, let's say, 50 years time. People, 10, 15 years time even. People are modding Jurassic World Evolution. Let's say that's happening somehow in 15 years time. People will make a mod for, say, the Spinosaurus. And it'll be wrong. you know what I mean? People will mod it in now, and in 15 years' time, we'll look back at it and think, what the hell were we thinking? I like the Allosaurus. Again, it doesn't really look like an Allosaurus. You can see that it's still got the basic JPOG sort of face to it, but it's the tail that's been modified and the body shape. The Spinosaurus is terrifying. Kind of cool. I kind of like it. I think it's based on the acro skin originally, based on the coloration. And the sail kind of looks more like the acro one, but kind of extended. But you wouldn't say it looks like a Spinosaurus, would you? You definitely would not say it looks like a Spinosaurus.
good to see you.
Okay, let's grab these last two. So you can see that the acro and the Spino look very similar. And let's grab the Cerato as well. Another one with... Oh, look at those legs go. That is incredible. We'll put all these in, and then we're going to release a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but we want to do it into the main park. I just want to see an old-timey T-Rex eat a human being. That's really all I'm looking for. I'm not a needy guy, you know. I don't need the world. I just need to see some humans get eaten by dinosaurs. You see what I mean about the acro and the Spinosaurus? It feels like basically the mod makers made the acro and then extended the spine, and that's been the Spinosaurus. There's very little difference between the two. But that could well be, you know, how we... it's like... I was reading about, I can't remember what it was, in like the early 1900s, a lot of dinosaurs were classified as megalosaurids. Was it megalosaur? What was it? A lot of theropods were all classified as one specific type of theropod anyway, just because it was easier than coming up with unique species, etc, etc, etc. So they all kind of got put together and given the same rough body shape, because we just didn't understand how these bones came together into into proper dinosaurs. It's incredible how far we've come in even the last... I mean, look, you look 20 years ago and feathers was so much more contentious than it is now. And in 50 years' time, God knows what the debate will be. That's why it's always a problem. Like, people are always like, I understand that feathers have been proven to an extent for certain dinosaurs, and for other dinosaurs like T-Rex now, people are saying, oh, feathers definitely weren't there and stuff like that. It's really dangerous to make such absolute claims when it comes to anything in science. But paleontology included. Now, people are like, oh, well, we found the skeletons. How does paleontology actually change? But the fact is, we've had some of these dinosaur bones for the Ceratosaurus, etc., for over a century. And yet, what we know about these dinosaurs and even what they looked like, despite having the skeleton, has changed so massively. You always have to be open to new ideas and to change. And we've seen it with the Spinosaurus, just so much in the last... It went from bipedal to quadruped, and now we're back where people are saying it's like semi-bipedal. It kind of went through both, and the shape has changed so much. Even like Dimetrodon looks nothing like we thought it did. Ankylosaurus has changed so much in just the last few years. You really do have to be absolutely open to change to be a decent scientist. In all walks of science, but obviously paleontology just happens to be particularly relevant to us on the channel. I think it's important that people are aware of that. I do want to bring back, while we're talking about it, obviously I used to do Pangea today, and it hasn't been on for a little while, and I do apologise for that, because I really like doing it. I know you guys like seeing it, and I will be bringing that back at some point. Do not fret. Last one, folks. Made a little exhibit just for this. Let's rotate that round. Large carnivore, Tyrannosaurus. There it is. Beautiful. What we're going to do as well, we're going to wait for our guests to arrive, and we're going to delete the visitor centre. Catch as many of them in here as humanly possible. Stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good old 8. Let them all get out. Onto the path. Gonna feed them all to my T-Rex, but I want them to be happy in the meantime. For some reason. It should be okay. They'll shout at me. Oh no, they didn't even shout at me. Well done. Where is it? There it is. You get it? I mean, it's not. It's more the general... You can see it with all of them. They've all got this kind of 45-degree angle sort of body shape, where in reality a lot of them would be much more sort of horizontal and sort of... Wait, 45 degree. 45, 90, 180... No, wait, 180, 90... Yeah, whereas in reality a lot of them would be at much more of a 90-degree sort of right angle, right? It kind of like goes upwards. The tail's always very low down, and then it goes up at that angle up to the head in sort of a diagonal. Anyways, Mr. Rex, there's no food for you in here, so gonna have to go somewhere else, aren't you, buddy? Yes, you are. As always, there's some dude going, wow. Oh, is it happening? Is it happening? I think it's happening. Do it. Hey, there we go. Imagine being killed by something not only extinct, but scientifically absolutely inaccurate. I suppose that's like every single Jurassic Park dinosaur, but this is like on a whole other level. I love it. Looks lovely, doesn't it? It's still got its 2 claws. Got a little shake in it. Who doesn't love a little shake? Alright, there we go. Good old days mod. I will link this down below. It is super easy to install, just like all JPOG mods, if we're honest. You just drag and drop all the data into your data folder, and you get all these different dinosaurs. That's about all I'd say, folks. If you do want to find out exactly how to do all this, I do have a JPOG mod installation tutorial on the channel. Be sure to check that out if you want a little guide, but it's super easy. Just read the README included with the mod. Thank you very much to the mod maker. Great little mod, really, really cool to see, and they are still updating it. The Parasaur, for example, if I can find myself a Parasaur. There is a little added file with the mod, which includes a alternate skin based on a paleo art piece of the Parasaur from a century ago, which is just a really cool little bonus added extra. You can tell whoever made this mod, and I have forgotten the name, I do apologise. But you can tell they really care about century-old paleo art and dinosaur designs, basically, which I think is a really cool thing. Hope we still see many more awesome JPOG mods in the coming months, even with Evolution coming out. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you lovely folks in the next episode. Cheers, much love. I love that dude. Cheers, much love, as always. Wait, I didn't say, I said much love. Cheers, much love, as always. And let me know which one is your favourite. I'm going to go... What am I going for? I think I'm going for the Ceratosaurus because it just looks so incredibly bizarre. He looks so happy. Yeah, Ceratosaurus wins for me. Let me know what your favourite is in the comments down below. I'll see you lovely folks in the next episode. Cheers, much love as always. I'll get there eventually. Bye-bye. Quick little shout out at the end. This video and all the others would not be possible without the support of you guys at home, and also all my Patreon supporters who are listed up on the page right now for April 2018. Thank you guys for all the help, and if you want to join in and help me out a little bit, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. Thanks for joining me.